A big hello to my crafty friends. Look at these gorgeous handmade buttons. I'm collaborating with the lovely Francesca from Junk Journal Joy. We have decided to do some of each other's tutorials. I will put a link to Francesca's channel in the description of this video. Please do pop over and have a look. She has some gorgeous items that she creates and really good videos describing her techniques. I'm following her tutorial for the handmade buttons. I'm going to use some old greeting cards as the cardstock for the inside of the button, and then I'm going to make them Christmas themed with a vintage feel for an upcoming Christmas project that I'm going to do. I'm using my 1.5 inch round punch, but you could also hand cut these out or use a smaller size or even a different shape if you wanted. You will need a picture part or a design part for the top and the bottom of each button, and then the inside of the button will have just thicker cardstock in layers as thick as you want it. Besides the Christmas print that I'm using some vintage printouts that I have from Pinterest with some vintage writing for some of the sides of the button. For the thicker cardstock, I'm using a greeting card, and when I cut this piece, I'm actually going to keep it and use it perhaps as a stencil or for a future project. Once you finish punching or cutting out all your pieces, it's time to start stacking them. You'll put the plain cardstock in the center and then a picture piece on either side of your stack. I will stack the cardstock until it is the right width. I'm measuring it against this 5mm double-sided tape. Once I have all my little piles together, it's ready to glue everything together. I'm just using craft glue with a paintbrush. And we're just going to very simply apply the craft glue on each layer and just stack them up, pressing as you go to be sure that everything adheres well. I worked doing the insides first, and now I'm going to add the picture pieces on either side. You can use most anything for the picture pieces. This is a digital printout. I'm using, like I said earlier, printouts of vintage text from Pinterest. You could use wrapping paper, cards, gift packaging, like any kind of gift wrapping, anything really. You could even keep them plain and then paint on them or do your own drawings. There really is so much you could do with these. Once they are 100% dry, we're going to do the holes. I'm just using a button just for placement of the holes, and then I'm using my crocodile to punch the holes. If you don't have a crocodile, you can just use a piercing tool. It will be a little more difficult, but it is possible. If there's one piece of equipment that you should invest in, I would highly recommend a crocodile. It is an amazing tool. It's a little pricey, but you will use it so much. It is worth its weight in gold, as they say. It just punches seamlessly through this full stack of cardstock that's glued, so it's quite hard, and it didn't even flinch. Just punched right through. My holes have been punched in all my buttons. I'm going to just use some distress ink to distress the edges just slightly to give it more of that vintage feel. I'm also going over the little hole areas just to give it some contrast and some depth. Once the edges have been distressed, I'm now going to add the double-sided tape to the edges. You could also use glue for this if you don't have this double-sided tape. I'll put a link in the description below for this tape because I didn't know of this tape until I saw Francesca's video, and it's easy to find in your local craft store. I will just put the link so you know what you're looking for. We're going to add it down slightly overlapping, and we're going to leave the top protective layer on for now. We're going to first just stick it down on each button. We'll remove the protective layer just before we add the glitter. I'm going to use a different color glitter for each of the buttons. I just lay them down and I'm putting the glitter next to them so I can see which colors I want to use. I'm going with a light green, a gold, and an iridescent white. I'll peel the protective layer off the double-sided tape, pour a little bit of glitter into a pile, and just rotate the button around for the glitter to stick. As easy as that. You don't have to use the glitter if you don't want. You could just finish it off with a paint or maybe a marker. I personally love glitter. I always say that glitter is my favorite color, so of course I will put glitter on mine. And because they're Christmassy and more festive, I think glitter goes with the festivities, so I'm definitely adding the glitter. This green is not a bright green, it's more of a muted green, which I think goes really well with the color of the printout, and I think it works really, really well. If you've used the glue instead of the double-sided tape for the glitter, do leave it to dry really well before you handle them. I do hope you enjoyed this video and were inspired, like I was, to create my own buttons. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new videos. Don't forget to visit the channel Junk Journal Joy for more lovely ideas for your crafting. I'll see you soon. Bye!